3 hostages were mistakenly killed by Israeli forces in Gaza. That is where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Jeff Pierre. It's Monday, December 18th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. You're hearing a prayer at a funeral service on Sunday in central Israel. Hundreds of Israelis got together to mourn one of the 3 hostages killed by mistake by the Israeli military. The 3 men had been captured in the Hamas-led attack on Israel on October 7th. They had either escaped or were abandoned by their captors. And on Friday, they tried to move toward an Israel Defense Forces position in Gaza City when they were shot dead. A senior Israeli military official said the hostages were holding a white flag when they were killed. The deaths have intensified concerns over Israel's lax regard for human life in Gaza as it continues its punishing war against Hamas militants. The U.S. is one of several countries that has urged Israel to scale back its military operations over fears of widespread harm to civilians. Number 2. Rudy Giuliani has been ordered to pay $148 million for false election claims. 2 election workers, Shay Moss and her mother, Ruby Freeman, sued the former New York mayor for defamation. They said Giuliani's claims that they helped steal the 2020 election from Donald Trump in Georgia led to a life-changing torrent of abuse. The 2 spoke to reporters after the jury made the ruling. Here's Shay Moss.
The lies Rudy Giuliani told about me and my mommy after the 2020 presidential election have changed our lives. And the past few years has been devastating. We hope no one ever has to fight so hard just to get your name back.
On Friday, a federal jury ordered Giuliani to pay more than 3 times the $48 million sought by the workers. It was the first major judgment against someone in Trump's orbit for pushing the myth that voting fraud tipped the election. It also marks a stunning downfall for Giuliani. His attorney said such a huge penalty could be, quote, the end for Giuliani. Number 3. President Biden is increasingly frustrated by his dismal poll numbers. For months, Biden has complained to aides and friends about his low approval rating. And in recent weeks, he's grown upset about a lack of progress towards turning things around. This is all according to Post reporting. It's not hard to see why Biden is frustrated. Most polls show him trailing Trump, who is the frontrunner for the Republican nomination. Biden is behind nationally and, more importantly, in key battleground states. And his approval rating has dipped to 38%. That's a tie for his record low. The numbers have led to conversations among Biden officials and allies about whether the president and his team need a shift in strategy. Meanwhile, Trump was back on the campaign trail this weekend. In 2 speeches, he quoted Russian President Vladimir Putin and used dehumanizing language to describe undocumented immigrants. Number 4. Southwest Airlines was fined $140 million for its meltdown last Christmas. Millions of people were affected by this nightmare last year. The airline canceled or significantly delayed about 16,900 flights over Christmas and New Year's. The problems were initially caused by weather and then made worse by the staff scheduling system at Southwest. This morning, the Transportation Department announced a huge fine, saying Southwest broke multiple laws. It also ordered Southwest to set up a $90 million fund for passengers affected by future delays. Southwest has said it's taken steps to improve reliability in busy holiday periods this year. The number of fake news sites has increased by over 1,000% since May. That's number 5. Websites hosting AI-created false articles have increased from 49 sites to more than 600. This is according to NewsGuard, which is an organization that tracks misinformation. This is a growing problem. Artificial intelligence is making it easy for nearly anyone, from spies to bored teens, to create these outlets. It's allowing more and more people to produce false information about elections, wars, and natural disasters. And these sites are often hard to differentiate from legitimate news sites. Misinformation experts say the rapid growth of these sites is especially worrying in the run-up to the 2024 election. Number 6. The NFL playoff picture started to take shape this weekend. The Baltimore Ravens became the first AFC team to earn a spot, winning last night in Jacksonville. And the San Francisco 49ers won in Arizona to clinch first place in the NFC West. The Dallas Cowboys, who lost yesterday, and the Philadelphia Eagles also locked up postseason spots with 3 weeks to go in the regular season. Tonight, the Eagles are in Seattle to face the Seahawks, who remain in the playoff hunt. But if Seattle loses, the Detroit Lions clinch. The game starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And at number 7, a massive solar flare launched off the sun last week. Solar flares are intense bursts of radiation that occasionally shoot out from the sun. On Thursday, the sun unleashed its most powerful eruption in over 6 years. After the flare, high-energy particles hit the Earth just 8 minutes later. They triggered a shortwave radio blackout over Central and South America. Some U.S. National Weather Service aviation centers reported interference too. Solar activity is expected to increase through the peak of the solar cycle, which should come sometime in 2024. That means the odds of seeing the northern lights will be the greatest in the months ahead. So if you've never seen the aurora, there's a good chance that next year will be your year. That's the show for today. Don't forget that a great way to stay on top of the news is with a subscription to the Washington Post. Right now, you can subscribe for as little as 50 cents a week. And there's a lot more than just news. Our food and recipe section is great. It's definitely changed the way I cook and eat at home. You should check it out. To sign up, go to WashingtonPost.com/subscribe. I'm Jeff Pierre, and I will meet you back here tomorrow.